Oh no! Yay! No. Look out for yourself! Wait, you guys are. Why does it do this every single time? Hold on, I have to fucking. No. Yeah, you've been censored, actually. You are so. Guys, you are so lucky you did not hear any of that, by the way. No.
Everybody wants to be my skibbity.
No.
Spare the risery. Everybody wants to be my skibbity. Now, as I was saying before, chat, welcome back to UMINEKO when the Sigma rises.
No!
When the Sigma
last time, Beato was trying to be in her Scary Girl arc, and then Battler got pissed and he Sigma munted all over her.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Nobody wants to be Sigma with me. This is so not skibbity."
And then she sings, "The Rizzlery. Everybody wants to be my skibbity."
See, so you were just making fun of us for doing the bit.
Yep.
And then it's funny. It's supposed to be funny when you do it, right?
Yep.
Because it's your stream, and it's funny when you do it, right? Because you're the streamer.
Yep.
Dude, I don't have the fucking energy for this. Why don't you just fucking take your high and mighty ass
I'm opening
somewhere
my
else?
OBS right now. You'll leave the Discord call for something else.
Yeah, Shane, can you stream your perspective of the stream to take your viewers away, please? I'll do the same.
Perspective.
And we'll see who the chat is really here for.
Jimmy, give me your GIF before any of that happens. Give me your GIF. Make the boys stay with your GIF. Give me your GIF. Yeah.
If it's not a good one, I'm leaving.
For real.
Oh. It's this one.
I'm pinning that. UMINEKO when they ball.
UMINEKO when they ball?
Where do I go to redeem a thing again? I want to redeem something.
What do you want to redeem?
I don't know. How do I do it? I don't remember.
You just gotta. You just.
I think I accidentally moved a bunch of my planes. So
Dude,
like 20
you're not helpful.
Right now.
You just. You just gotta do it. Fuck.
Where the fuck do I do it, streamer?
You literally, like, you know what you see where, like, the chat button is? If you go all the way down and then go to, like, the left, I think.
Let me do this just for...
It says cloudy points for me.
Yeah, but when I click on it, it just gives me shit that doesn't have anything to do with that.
Let me get justice for Bree making fun of our bit and then immediately doing the bit.
Oh! Why am I a
clown?
Punishment has been secured.
Okay, it's gone. Alrighty. Okay, so yeah, last time things got a little cray. So Ava found the gold. She solved the riddle of the epitaph, and
Child Ava became a shitty Beatrice.
Yep.
Well, no, she became too good of a Beatrice. Really.
She's still
shitty as in I don't like the character so far.
No, yeah, I mean she's like, well, because she she took on the role of Beatrice and is being like insanely cruel, like even more cruel.
Yeah,
than Beato.
Going full Zeus with this shit.
Real. Yeah, and then Beato's being like, tone it down a bit, bitch, and she's like, oh.
Yeah, Beato has to be like, can you fucking not?
This
is
so
like
not
5
skibbity.
minutes.
Yeah. And also, I guess Ava is maybe dying, question mark?
Yeah, cause like the witch version of her is like real or whatever. It's like draining her life force. It's like it's like
yep.
What's that? I'm trying to think of what it is. It's like
she's dying?
No, but I had like a comparison in mind. You know, if you're just gonna make fun of me, I'll just leave.
No,
you know?
I'm sorry.
You know, I would like to feel appreciated. You know,
I love you.
But it's just, you know, everybody, they just walk all over me. You know, I'm here to do things for other people.
I love you. Don't go.
And she is now missing a part of herself and is like collapsing.
Yeah, whatever. She gonna die or some shit.
And she
died of a broken heart.
Oh my god, it's Heater Yoshi.
Heater Yoshi?
Heater, I barely know her.
He would never heat her.
Oh yeah, people are sneaking around and going outside while Hideyoshi's trying to take care of his poor wife.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it was just Rosa and Maria who did that. Another dead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. And they got drowned in pudding.
Yeah, because this time they were the two that are close.
Yeah.
They be close.
Which is, I don't like that.
Debatable,
But,
you know.
Yeah.
Debatable, really. I'll miss Maria too.
Yeah.
Real shit.
Real.
Not really.
Oh. Real.
Listen, I like the story. It doesn't mean I have to like all the characters.
True, that's true.
You're not obligated to
You're
do
not
that.
obligated to do that.
I'm not
But you
obligated
hate
to like
Rosa.
annoying fucking children.
But you hate
and their
Rosa
abusive-
more than you hate Maria.
Yeah. It's not, Maria's just a child written to the point of annoying where I'm like, aight, dude.
Yeah.
But Maria's just a bad person.
It's okay. She's got like brain damage. It's not her fault.
Fucking, what are you, Japanese?
Her mom made her tarded.
What are you, Japanese? Oh, this character's evil. You know what? They had a slightly inconvenient childhood.
True.
Fan favorite.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, this person murders people, is a terrible human being. Guess what? Their dad hit him once.
Holy shit, dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
My sympathy through the roof.
Sympathy gained.
Okay, I'm gonna read the words on the screen now.
Thank
Okay.
you. I love you.
That was great.
That sucked, guys. Ew. Looks like she's finally calmed down.
Hideyoshi wiped his own forehead. For a time, Eva had seemed to. Hold on.
Oh.
I don't know. Okay.
Ma.
For a time, Eva had seemed to be having a very painful nightmare, but it appeared she'd finally fallen asleep.
Aww.
As promised, he still gripped Ava's hand. He thought it might be time to let go pretty soon, but he faithfully continued to hold on. Every once in a while, his hand would get tired, and he would switch between his right and left. But even so, as promised, he didn't let go of her hand.
Man of the fucking hour, dude. Oh.
And at that time, there was a heavy knock. Ava had finally been able to fall asleep, so Hideyoshi grimaced for just an instant. Aniki, Hideyoshi-san, sorry, is Rosa there? It was Rudolph's voice. What could it be? Hideyoshi headed for the door, hiding his footsteps so that he wouldn't wake Ava. It was definitely Rudolph's voice, but just in case, he opened the door without removing the chain.
What is it? Something happening to Rosa-san?
We can't find Rosa or Maria-chan. Thought they might be with you.
I heard her scolding Maria-chan in the corridor. They got quiet after that, so I thought they'd gone back to the lobby. But did they?
That idiot. Rudolph clicked his tongue.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. He's loaded.
That gun looks
Other
very
people.
tiny in his hands.
Yeah.
Could be seen in the corridor. Rosa hadn't returned for a while after going out into the corridor, so they'd begun to worry. Near the front door, Natsuhi pointed at the unset chain.
The chain isn't set. They must have gone outside to see that rose after all.
How extraordinarily careless to go out and leave the door unlocked. What a troublesome person.
I'm more worried about Rosa-san and Maria-chan themselves.
Right. Hey, brats. Where was this Rose of Maria's?
She's talking to us? Oh. I'm pretty sure it was in the flower bed right in the middle of the rose garden. Oh my god, George, yay!
If that's where they are, we should be able to spot them pretty quickly if we go. I haven't spoken in like a year.
Yeah!
Yeah. Dad, shouldn't we bring them back here as soon as we can?
Of course, we'll bring him back and give him a good spanking. I'll dash out there and come back. Lock the door as soon as I go out.
Dad, I'll go with you.
Don't be stupid. It's obviously a brat's job to watch over the house with Mama. Bitch.
What is it? Did something happen?
Sorry, did I wake you up? It seems Rosa-san took Maria-chan outside. How reckless of her.
Rosa and Maria-chan are outside? In the rose garden?
Uh-oh.
That's right. Oh, did you hear? Maria-chan was causing a ruckus because she wanted to see this rose.
They mustn't go to the rose garden. Tell Rosa to stop.
She's getting like premonitions.
There's no telling her to stop now. Looks like they left a while ago. Say whatever, how wet was it?
No.
Seriously.
That's not it. Not the rose garden. There's a witch there, and she's waiting for a sacrifice. Rosa, you mustn't go. Oh.
Look, honey, I know I was saying all that stuff before to help you feel better, but what the fuck are you talking about?
Ava cowered again, holding her head. The complexion looked very bad.
What is it? Did the fever make you dream something bad?
It's a dream. Yes. In the rose garden, the witch doing that to Rosa and Maria-chan.
Oh shit.
That's right. It's a dream. It must be.
Calm down. I'm here in this room, and the chain is set. The shutter's closed on the window, and we've even got a gun. This room is just like a fort. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Beat his chest.
Hideyoshi beat his chest, trying to calm her, but Ava's insecure expression didn't change. Under the covers, Ava kept praying that the grotesque nightmare she'd just had was only a dream.
Okay.
Oh boy!
Wind.
Oh my god! Battler, oh fuck!
Dude, is he even gonna show up?
I don't know. In the center of the rose garden, Rudolph identified the corpses of Rosa and Maria. After that, he returned to the guest house, called for help, and carried both of them into the guest house. If we can trust Nanjo's examination, the cause of Rosa's death was a stab to the medulla oblongata with a pointed gate of the fence. It is thought that Maria's death was due to strangling with bare hands. Oh. However, due to the devil's proof, we cannot discount a misdiagnosis.
I will say it in red. Rosa and Maria died. The causes of death were as Nanjo diagnosed. She wasn't eaten by a spider, nor was she crushed by a mountain of cake. Don't worry.
So, you argue that even though you toyed with their deaths so much, it's all fine because the corpse is neat and clean? I definitely won't forgive you. I definitely won't forget all of that brutal treatment you gave on Rosa, so I won't forgive you.
It doesn't like it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, that wasn't me. I believe I gave them a much more peaceful death than the way she treated them.
Oh.
Shut the hell up. I'm not talking to you. It was stated that there are no more than 18 people on this island, and now that 8 people are already dead, we can narrow the field of suspects down to 10. One of them probably killed those 2. Or could it also be an accidental death? Like Maria was having a tantrum, and when Aunt Rosa tried to stop her crying, she misjudged how much power she was using and accidentally killed her. Then she was so upset that she slipped and fell, landed on the fence, and unluckily died. How's that? There's no need for a witch or magic.
Well, that's not quite true. Actually, Rosa and Maria...
Oh.
Shut up. Didn't I say I wasn't talking to you? You're an eyesore, so disappear, you monster.
Battler said that without rage, but with a horribly cold voice. That strange behavior was something Beato had noticed right off the bat. In a fight, both of them could go at each other without restraint. However, he wouldn't even step into the ring. She could feel that coldness. Beato didn't find that amusing. She thought about flaring up, but she held back. Maybe, even though she was innocent and childish, she had enough sense to realize that she shouldn't pick fights.
Is that so? Then I'll vanish. Renove, continue for me.
Certainly. Will that be satisfactory, Battler-sama?
There are no problems with her proposal. If Battler-kun doesn't want to see Beato's face, perhaps that will do.
Do what you like. If I can live without seeing that monstrous face, I don't care about anything else.
Hey, wait a second. You keep saying monster, monster, but isn't that a cruel way to speak of me?
Bruh.
Why do you instinctively hate me so much, Battler? Even though none of that was me. Even though it was all the work of my disciple.
It's not like I'm only mad about what happened just now. It's been like that from the very beginning.
Hey, Battler, don't misunderstand, okay? Aren't we just a pair of players confronting each other through a game? We look for moves to make things painful for each other, but...
Don't get the wrong idea. I don't hate you because you're my rival in this strange game about whether I accept you as a witch or not. I just can't forgive how senselessly cruel you are.
Well, serial murders are a part of this game. It's probably impossible to avoid a little cruelty.
I'm not talking about what just happened. There was the last time, and the time before that, too. Tearing everyone's stomachs open and stuffing them with sweets, plowing their faces. What was the point of all that?
That's... well...
When it comes to closed-room murders and tricks and alibis, I'm willing to give you a pass. You want to claim that this is a murder done by magic, so I'll grudgingly accept that those complicated crimes need to occur. But what exactly is the point of all these grotesque murders?
well, nothing much.
That's right. They don't mean anything. You're just fooling around by mangling the corpses for fun. That has nothing to do with whether you're a witch or whether it could or couldn't be done with magic. You're just exploring the depths of cruelty for fun. This isn't about whether you're a witch or anything like that. There are just some things I can't forgive as a human.
What do you mean as a human?
For example, the 6 people of the first Twilight for this game. Well, other than Grandfather being burned black, the other corpses were killed in a normal way, without any unnecessary shaming of the dead. It wasn't clear whether the weapon was a spear or a gun, but anyway, as far as killing goes, that was acceptable. It was much better than the nonsensical grotesqueness and cruelty from the first Twilight last time, or the time before that. And this time, there were 6 closed rooms tied together to make a closed room chain. That was sort of interesting. When we were going back and forth with each other that time, to be perfectly honest, I thought it was just a little fun. You were frantic to make me accept your existence, and I was frantic trying to deny it. We were both frantically doing all we could. This may sound weird, but I felt a faint sense of sportsmanship between the two of us. We exist in conflict, but I faintly thought that we might not be completely unable to understand each other's existence. But just now, that feeling was blown away without a trace.
That's what you're misunderstanding. That wasn't me.
That's not it! That's not what I'm talking about! You watched Aunt Rosa being killed horribly over and over, and you sneered at it like it was an interesting show. When I saw that, I was deeply disappointed in you. When I realized that your decision to kill them in a slightly better way this time was nothing more than a faint whim, and that nothing had changed in your cruel character, I was deeply disappointed. On the contrary, you were even genuinely enjoying those brutal deaths. You weren't just acting as cruel as you could to bully me. You truly, genuinely enjoy cruelty.
Kenzo, shut up.
Your character lets you enjoy it. You said I'd probably think that Aunt Rosa being brutally killed over and over was fun. You weren't joking. You enjoyed it from the bottom of your heart, wanted me to sympathize, and said that I'd probably think it was fun. In that instant, I lost respect for you and realized the truth. The problem isn't whether you're a witch or not. I will not forgive that cruelty of yours, and I can't understand it. I can't forgive it either. Still, I'll continue this game of whether to accept or deny witches. I won't step down and accept my own defeat. However, your pointless cruelty is absolutely unnecessary for that game. So I've decided that I won't accept you as my opponent.
Damn.
Renove is 100 times better.
Damn.
He doesn't have the same cruel hobby you do. Even if he does, he doesn't have the awful taste to show it off in front of me.
Maybe just cracks open a cold one. Like.
Yeah,
No drink to that.
that's right. You have awful taste. You're heartless and cruel, so you can't understand. That's unpleasant in an opponent. So I don't want to see your face again.
As Battler went on and on by himself, Beata was shocked into silence for a long time. Maybe she couldn't understand what she was being told, and this was a sign that she was doing all she could in an effort to understand. For a while, she kept switching between angry expressions, frustrated expressions, bold expressions, as though even she herself didn't know what attitude she should take. In the end, she made her face into a candid expression, as though she had come to her senses, and shrugged her shoulders, as though she was tired.
In that case, do as you like. From now on, I will continue this game through Renove. You have no complaints as long as I don't show myself, right?
For the time being. But I definitely won't forgive all of your cruel actions up until now. And I definitely won't accept you. For that reason as well, I won't back down from this fight you've picked. And I definitely won't lose. That's all there is to it.
Beato, no matter how many more excuses you give, his impression will not waver. I have something to talk about later. Until then, stay back.
Indeed. Understood. Then I'll vanish until you call.
Damn, cucked.
Yeah.
Looking lonely, Beata turned her back to them and vanished. Battler watched, a slightly displeased expression on his face. He thought his argument had been valid, but for some reason his mood didn't clear up.
She's an idiot.
That's true. An idiot and a straightforward one.
That idiot watched Aunt Rosa get killed horribly with me, then turned around with a huge smile on her face. She really believed that she could laugh with me at that cruel show. She really believed that I could sympathize with that emotion. Looking at that innocent smile, I felt just horrible. It would have been much better if she'd said it with her normal bullying face. Damn it.
Milady has never had the experience of having a friend. In addition, she's probably never had something spoken to her that strongly. Madame and I are her attendants. No matter what we say, it will not reach her ears. For Milady, this is also.
Don't screw with me. I don't remember ever becoming her friend.
That's true enough. My apologies.
There's one thing I would like to thank you for. Thank you for not backing down from that child's game.
She spoke words of gratitude. For some reason, Battler made a displeased face. Then, as though in self-derision, he chuckled.
Now that I've even got witches and demons thanking me, I'm screwed. Let's resume the game. Of course, I don't intend to go easy on you.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Unlike Milady, I do not get agitated.
I've already made my move. If we suppose that Aunt Rosa is the culprit and died in an accident, I can deny the witch. I don't want to suspect Aunt Rosa, but I think I can bear to accept that premise if it'll beat the hell out of Beato.
I will deny it with red. Rosa and Maria's death were homicides.
Okay, let's start from there. Damn, I'm just not getting fired up.
His boner! No!
Do you need a little help right now? Do you need a little...
Pulls out the little blue pill.
With Rosa and Maria's deaths, it was now clear that the culprit was still hiding somewhere, trying to add even more murders to this chain. As he shed tears, Rudolph scolded Rosa's corpse for being reckless several times, but Rosa would never respond to that again. They decided to place the two corpses in one of the guest rooms and use it to seal and to seal it until the police arrived. The second murder, the murder of the second Twilight had delivered a heavy blow to everyone. It had blown away the optimism that some of them had held, the thought that a crime didn't actually occur. It was all a game or a farce by Kinzo and the servants, trying to distract themselves from the loss of the people they liked. George and Jessica had spent the whole time since morning talking about every possibility, and they had distracted their hearts by supposing that these murders might actually have all been an act, and that Shannon and Cannon were only pretending to be dead. When the next murder occurred, it destroyed that thought, and they were once again struck by the fact that the person they liked had most definitely been killed. The tears they thought they had died away began to drip down once more, and Battler couldn't think of anything to say to them. After all of that, the adults checked that all of the rooms were safe and locked just in. They made certain that the shutters and all of the windows were down and locked. They confirmed that no one suspicious was hiding anywhere. On top of that, they checked their weapons once again, and checked with each other to make sure that they were mentally prepared so that they wouldn't hesitate to fire off a preemptive shot if they saw the shadow of a mysterious person. Rosa's gun had been found near the scene of the crime. Excuse me. Someone had gone out of their way to leave it there, so everyone suspected that it was some kind of trap. But when Hideyoshi delicately used a fire iron to fire off test shots, it was able to discharge without incident.
Oh! Oh! Damn. Okay,
Why would you fire that man? You're just wasting it.
Yeah.
God damn it, dumbass.
Yeah, you really just need to do one.
So since the 5 shots loaded into it had discharged without any problems, they reloaded it with the bullets and handed it over to the only adult male who wasn't armed, Hideyoshi. Well, if it is a cowboy lever gun, and it's 45 long Colt, that's about $1.50 a bullet. They fired it 5 times. It's just a waste of money, especially in the 80s.
I don't think they care about that.
They're like filthy rich.
Yeah.
Where they're gonna get bullets in Japan. However, the fact that it had been able to fire off 5 shots gave it a rise to a certain paranoia. This short barrel Winchester could hold only 5 shots. In other words, Rosa hadn't fired even once. And yet, the two had probably been killed by someone with their bare hands. This meant there was a possibility that the crime had been committed by someone whose face they knew.
When the first murder occurred, I privately thought of the possibility that it was all an act. My apologies to Dr. Nanjo, but if he had actually been an accomplice, I thought the deaths of all the servants might possibly have been a massive, elaborate act by Father. After all, the closed room situation they were in couldn't have been created unless we supposed that it was all an act.
We also suspected that... No. still want to believe that that's the case.
My apologies, but that is not so. I am quite old. I might possibly possibly make a misdiagnosis and have a stroke. However, I would never mistake whether they were alive or dead.
I get it! Don't go out of your way to say it out loud, Dr. Nanjo!
My apologies.
They had no way of knowing that Beto had already used the red to proclaim the deaths of the six. No, the deaths of all victims so far in this game. That faint dream that it was all a farce, that all the victims were actually alive. I'm sorry to say it. That's all impossible. In that case, it makes more sense to assume it's someone familiar with the mansion. Someone hiding around and carrying out a really well-polished crime. So, ever since the typhoon came to this island, sealed it off from the outside world, there's been more than 18 people here. Of course, there was no way for them to know about that either. That claim of Rudolph's had also been denied. And yet, there are no more than 18 humans on this island.
I might have a way to look at it that keeps things consistent, at least a little. Simply put, this person in hiding is someone who shouldn't really be on this island right now. And yet, there's a likelihood that they were someone Rosa-san knew, someone she let her guard down around.
So, for example, could it be a servant who wasn't on this 2-day shift?
It's hard to be certain about that one. When our servants finish their work and leave the island, it isn't as though we punch their ticket or something to make sure. If we're supposing that a servant on a shift from a few days ago only pretended to leave the island and actually stayed here, that would be hard to deny.
I don't think Rosa-chan is such a fool. If a servant who wasn't supposed to be here popped up in front of you, who wouldn't be on their guards?
I'm not even sure we should be assuming that it was someone she recognized. Maybe they suddenly attacked Rosa from the darkness and were about to steal her gun. Then Rosa fell, hit her head against the fence, and stopped moving. The guest house was nearby and they wanted to avoid the sound of gunfire, so they killed Maria-chan with their bare hands.
There is also that possibility. Still, if that is the case, did they really intentionally leave Rosa's gun at the scene of the crime? You don't know about we don't know what the culprit's armed with. They've got to feel insecure about our guns. Wasn't that a perfect chance for them to thin out our supply? Why would they intentionally leave it at the scene of the crime?
At first, I thought that gun was a trap. That's what chessboard thinking says it should be.
Chessboard.
By purposefully leaving it, they wanted to make one of us touch it. And they must have wanted us to pull the trigger. I was sure that something dangerous had been done to it, to make it explode and cause massive injuries.
But it was actually okay. And the culprit probably panicked. I bet that right now they're regretting that they missed their chance to steal a gun.
I don't like it. It ticks me off, like it's a message from the witch, saying she isn't even scared of guns.
However, in any event, this is truly a fearsome opponent. Even at a glance, they should have been able to tell that Rosa had a gun. To think that they attacked her despite that. The fact that they are unafraid of guns should not be taken lightly.
Indeed. It's as Natsuhi says. We should probably be even more cautious than we have been.
This is just for peace of mind, but at the time we think Rosa-san was attacked outside, where was everyone?
Natsuhi and I were here, along with Rudolph and Kirie-san. I can guarantee their alibis.
Ava and I were together, I can guarantee that.
George, Aniki, Jessica, and I were together. When Aunt Rosa yelled at us to return to the second floor, we retraced our steps back to the cousin's room, all dejected.
Back then, if we hadn't let Maria go...
Saying that isn't gonna change anything.
Dr. Nanjo? I was reading a book in a room on the second floor. I was by myself, so no one can verify my alibi, but I believe everyone saw me return to the second floor with the children.
Once I say this, it'll never end. But what if you jumped out the window, attacked Rosa, then climbed back up using a rain gutter or something?
Don't be absurd. How could I perform a feat such as jumping down from the second story or climbing up with his old body? Let us stop suspecting each other. It's more important that we trust each other and, for the children's sakes as well, defend this place until the very end.
You're right. It's like Natsuhi-san says, for now, stop suspecting each other.
Wow!
Nanjo loves his Reader's Digest.
That's right. We may be useless as far as searching for the culprit is concerned.
I'd like the book page, the joke page.
I
Thinks
need to
Garfield
read my
should have
Sunday
never.
funnies.
We can only stay alive until tomorrow, inform the police and follow their instructions. Because the police will definitely expose who the culprit is, definitely. The police are so smart.
Hey man, what are you trying to say about all the coppers out there watching this?
They're definitely watching this.
They are, bro. You don't know that?
What is it, Ava? Is your body still feeling bad?
Mother, what's wrong? Are you okay?
Sorry. It looks like my fever is still strong. I'll be fine, so leave me alone.
When they looked, they saw Ava staring at the floor, her breathing harsh again. She'd been able to act firm for a time due to the urgency of their situation, but it seemed her body wasn't at its best after all.
Yeah, bitches! Okay. Yeah, I killed those two. Now we're the only ones who know about the gold. I won't give up even a scrap to the other siblings.
What have you done? There was so much of that gold, right? Giving Rosa and the others their share wouldn't have been a problem at all, right?
It would. That gold is to be passed on only to the head of the Ushinomiya family. That's because it, as a whole, represents no more or less than the honor of the head. To wound that even a tiny bit is definitely not something that I, the new Golden Witch Beatrice, will permit.
Do you plan to continue these murders according to the witch's epitaph? Do you actually plan to become a murderer 5 more times?
Yeah. If I don't finish that annoying ceremony, it seems my power as a witch won't become complete. Hey, me. The power of the witch is really awesome. It really can make all the crazy things we imagine become reality. The power to make dreams more than just dreams. Now that I've learned of this power, I can no longer stop being a witch. If I can finish the ceremony and make my power complete, I'm sure I'll be able to teach you that feeling too.
Stop acting like a fool. Haven't you played at being a witch enough? We found the gold, and we've even been promised the position of the successor. We'll probably need to tightrope walk just a bit, but by now, that's a dream that will definitely come true. Beyond that, what more could you wish for?
I wanted to become a witch.
Don't give a... oh, sorry, I didn't read that right. I don't give a damn about that dream.
That's right. Because I kept holding on to that dream. I've lived at this age forever. When you became an adult, you threw that dream away. No matter how long you wait, the rabbit holding a clock will visit you, and you won't be able to meet Humpty Dumpty. Of course, you definitely won't be invited to the land of cards. Because you gave up and accepted all that, you became an adult. So you don't want to become a witch or anything like that anymore. You've even forgotten that it truly was your dream at one point.
Anyway, stop it. I've already gotten my hands on 2 dreams. The gold and the position of head. That's more than enough. So please, your dream has nothing to do with me. Stand down.
No way! Magic's too interesting. Also, those 2 dreams of yours both came true because of my magic. It wouldn't be fair if my dream didn't come true too.
I'm grateful for your magic, and I acknowledge that you're a real witch. So just stand down and return to the inside of my heart. and never appear again.
No way. We're both misunderstanding each other, aren't we? That's right. I am not you anymore. You are Ushiromiya Eva. I am the Golden Witch, Beatrice. So it's not my responsibility to go back inside your heart. I guess I feel like a butterfly who's broken out of her cocoon, meaning you.
The fever is making my mind cloudy.
My inexperience with magical power is forcing me to support it with your vitality. Until I finish the ceremony and become a full witch, you might have to bear the burden. I'll take that as payment for making 2 of your dreams come true. It's fine. Don't worry, okay? For the remaining 5 sacrifices, I'll avoid your family. Let's see. Rudolph, Kyrie, Kraus, Natsuhi. After that, what about that old geezer Nanjo? Perfect. I'll kill those 5 people. Could you call this a murder announcement revealed only to you?
New murder just dropped.
Oh,
Goodbye.
Ava finally crouched in. Ava fucking fell over, hit her head on the couch.
She got
Hideyoshi
pan
rushed
wiped
up
off
to
the
her
screen.
and lent her his shoulder.
Are you okay? Let's take it easy and rest.
Are you all right? Dr. Nanjo, take a look at Ava.
When Nanjo and George tried to approach, Ava made a gesture to stop them.
thank you. I'm fine, Dr. Nanjo. I'm taking medicine. I apologize for saying this during such an extreme situation, but let me rest a little longer.
Mom, I'll lend a hand too.
Thank you. But I'll be fine as long as your father watches over me. Go back to the second-story cousin's room and don't come out no matter what. Understood? No matter what happens, you must not leave the guest house.
Guys, I think you're gonna leave the guest house.
Outside, that witch will...
Don't talk anymore. Sorry, everyone, but I'll be watching over Ava in our room. Tell us if something happens.
Hideyoshi and Ava retreated from the lobby. However, Ava wasn't the only one who wasn't feeling good. They hadn't gotten a wink of sleep since the previous night and had been pressed by tension since that morning. They were mustering their energy to protect their families, but if they relaxed even a little, surely everyone would be down and out.
Guys,
I'm about
Full
to be down
Metal
and out, bro.
Alchemist.
Damn.
Struggling.
everything has gone as planned until now. But from here on out, it will become difficult, you see. Difficult meaning? Indeed. Normally, as the ceremony progresses and the victims increase in number, they begin to tighten their guard. And in most cases, they hole up in one place and stop moving. That is extremely inconvenient for us. Are you saying that we witches are inferior to a bunch of humans in a group? Witches are never inferior to humans. However, perhaps you could say that times change, and that humans have gotten their hands on a poison. This wasn't a problem long ago when people believed in witches, but just like that annoyance battler, people in the current era deny magic on a fundamental level. In other words, their existence itself is anti-magical. As a result, at some point, they grew to possess a toxin inside their bodies that denies magic.
Is this like a metaphor, or is she being literal?
It is a metaphor.
It's both.
She presented it as a metaphor.
In other words, you're saying that the more humans there are...
Read the goddamn words.
Yeah, it sounds like I read the whole thing. Okay. The stronger that magic-resisting toxin gets, and the greater the disadvantage is us... Oh my god. And the greater the disadvantage is for us witches... Oh my god. The combined amount of power in their hearts that denies magic, in other words, their magic resistance power, becomes the denominator in the equation of your magic's power. Understand? Is that a bit too difficult for you? You're joking. Actually, I understand it easily. In other words, you're saying that the more people there are who don't believe in magic, and the stronger their will is, the more the effects of our magic are divided.
Yeah, if it's so formulaic, I'll have to rethink my method of attack.
The narrator.
Okay.
Fundamentally, magic possesses a vast power. It can even make a rain of hold on. My brain.
Locking in.
Lock in. Fundamentally, magic possesses a vast power. It can even make a rain of fire fall from the heavens or divide a sea. And reviving a lost life isn't impossible either. However, that power is extremely weak against the toxin that rejects it. And that toxin started piling up in humans since the time they forgot to respect things sacred. Until finally, this earth was covered with enough toxin that the miracles of magic could not be displayed. Thus, witches from across the world were chased from their dwellings. They had been forced to choose to throw away their magic and live as humans, or else live in hiding in remote areas where the toxin of humans didn't reach. In that sense, Rokkenjima, with its population of only a few dozen humans, was extremely favorable for witches. And even
Damn.
more favorable was the existence of the ghost story about the witch who lived in the Rokkenjima forest. In other words, preempting the island with the fear that a witch might exist. The magic-resisting toxin from the humans was weakened. A small population and room for them to acknowledge magical being. In other words, minds that were only weakly anti-magical. Only by existing in the valley where those two converged could a witch live in modern times. I want Kenzo to see new Beatrice and be like, "There's no who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck are you?
I summoned you, this fucking weirdo."
Why do you look like my daughter at a very young age?
I'm not into this. You need to leave.
I see. So using this formula, we can arrive at several rules for how a witch can use her power effectively, or efficiently. The first is presentation. Create a murder scene that couldn't conceivably have been done by humans, decorate it in an occult way, make it look very much like a witch exists, and permeate people with fear to make them believe that witches exist. As a result, the anti-magic power in the denominator for our magical power will be decreased. I see. So this is why the creepy magic circles of the first Twilight were created. That's right. Exactly. The gaudy scenes for the first Twilight in each game are all for that reason. It's definitely not as though I like being cruel or I'm doing it for fun. Oh, who would say that? It's rude. In that case, Predecessor Sama, you failed this time around. You killed them in a very plain way. It doesn't look like anything more than a simple mystery. I heard about last time and the time before that from Renove. You should have damaged the corpses more grotesquely, like you did then, making it more like a fantasy and instilling fear in those people. Well, about that, I thought it wouldn't be artful to do that every time, you see. Don't think too deeply on it, it's just a whim.
Actually, it really hadn't been her whim. After Badler had said that to her, she couldn't say it out loud anymore. But she really had decided her methods of killing based on mere whim. Now, would it be better to say that she half-heartedly let Renove decide? After all, she left the closed rooms of this game's first Twilight to him. But if she'd had a cruel idea, then she would surely have explored the limits of atrocity even worse than in the previous game.
You told me to show more some restraint when deciding Rosa's and Maria's deaths too. But wasn't that a course of action beneficial to us? But that wasn't a course of action beneficial to us witches either, was it? In actuality, by now, none of them believe one bit that a witch actually exists. They're totally sure that it's a mystery, not a fantasy. This turn of events is a failure from a witch perspective. For some reason, you keep doing things in a kinda lukewarm way, Predecessor Sama. Like they say, things you learn when you're young will definitely help you out in the future. This is a test passed on from my predecessor to you. Take it on with respect.
Beato tried to laugh heartily, but it was obviously the fake laugh of someone trying to cover something up. And the new witch shrugged with a sigh.
At this stage, it's probably too late to create a scene and reduce the anti-magic power. In that case, there's another move. Getting the humans to split up should work. Indeed, that is possibly the most effective way. The smaller the number of humans, the more the denominator shrinks. As a result, the magical power functions instantaneously. In other words, it all begins from one point. How to destroy this barricade situation and have them split up into small groups. However, they are already very cautious. The barricade won't be destroyed easily, right? Both the barricade in Kinzo's study 2 games ago and the barricade in the parlor last time were very stubborn. Furthermore, most of the cunning adults still remain this time. This situation is more difficult than all the ones before it, understand? If you wish, I could give you some special advice.
In a closed circle, when the first murder case occurs, the survivors always hole up, gathering together to observe each other and ensure their safety. Funnily enough, not only do mystery authors and murder culprits worry about how to break that situation apart, but so do witches, who supposedly exist at the other end of the spectrum. For a while, the new witch poked her cheek with a pointer finger. After acting as though she was planning something, she spoke.
No, I'm fine. After all, it is a test. I won't borrow your moves. Really? Still, it will be rather difficult to defeat this barricade, right? I've already made my move. I'm pretty sure it'll work. And it'll definitely work on someone smart. Is that so? You really are excellent. I'm pleased to see that my disciple won't be causing me much trouble. My motto is to study things myself before asking other people. Then, if you will excuse me, I have to wait for my prey to get lured out. Indeed. Well then, handle it with care.
As the new witch lowered her head, her face blank, she turned into gold butterflies and vanished. Beato didn't look happy at all. She seemed to be lonely because of how little she was being relied on.
Not one of them gives a fig for me. You witch apprentice acting so smart. I'll bet she thinks she makes some painful mistake and starts crying. Then, without a doubt, she'll finally realize my greatness and beg me to teach her. Until then, I shall watch from on high.
She laughed loudly on the outside, but a laugh no one can hear is completely pointless.
Renova, shut the fuck up.
Beato gave up quickly and stopped laughing.
Oh, hey.
Renova chose that time to show himself. What's up, bitch? It's me.
I heard you were talking
Excuse
shit.
me, milady. I heard you laughing by yourself. The game of the second Twilight with Bastila-sama has ended.
I see. Good work. What was the result?
My sincere apologies. I was forced to resign. By saying in red that both deaths were homicides, I made Bastila-sama revise his claim of Rosa strangled Maria to death and died in an accident. But I could not repel his chain of moves placing Ava as the principal offender.
Wasn't Ava sleeping in her room the whole time as Hideyoshi cared for her? For her?
He put forth the possibility that Hideyoshi was an accomplice and that the two worked together to create an alibi.
He even suspects Hideyoshi? Couldn't
That guy's like the best.
Yeah.
Couldn't she have struck back by saying in red that he was in the guest room at the time of the murder?
I also thought of that, but multiple important pieces might have been taken several moves later. And because this move might be connected to the new Beatrice-sama's strategy, I acted out of respect to her. My apologies.
Strategy, you say? Her mind does seem to be sharp. We can let her do as she pleases. It will be quite a show to see how far she can go.
I thought you would say that. I see that the uncuteness of your disciple has left you in a bad mood.
That's none of your business. I wonder how that one plans to destroy this barricade going forward. I shall keep a close eye on her. Oh, and how was Battler's mood?
It appears as though he'd calmed himself down. He did say that he couldn't get fired up after all, without you as his opponent.
Really? Well, that's no surprise. No surprise at all. If I don't return for the fourth twilight and after, Battler will probably be lonely and by himself.
And with that, if you would excuse me, I need to go bake some delicious cookies. I must at least enliven the discussion between you and Battler-sama, milady.
Indeed. That guy really was munching your cookies. Wasn't he?
That sounds like a euphemism.
I think you just liked the cookies, guys. Your brain out of the gutter.
It's no surprise that a boy can eat so much. Make it a lot of them.
Certainly. I shall make enough cookies to bury the table.
That sounds great.
Wow. She's gonna go back and Battler's gonna be like, what the fuck? What are you doing here? Get out.
Die. I hate you.
She's gonna be like, oh. And they kiss. Sorry.
You are my wife. What's going on? What did you want to talk about?
My wife.
My wife.
I found you.
I found my wife.
I didn't.
She wears purple.
Couldn't find wife. Found wife.
Kyrie called Rudolph into the corridor. It was obvious that she wanted to talk about something that she didn't want the others to hear.
Yeah.
I want to go outside.
Oh. Yeah. Oh my god, it's so close. Oh. It didn't move. What the freak?
It is
Oh.
1 a.m.
It is 1 p.m. actually?
What?
Wait. I don't
What?
know what time it is.
I thought it was nighttime.
But look, it's bright outside.
Certainly, the body cannot last with nothing more than a small breakfast, but
Of course, we understand. Still, as time passes, it'll get darker and darker out. It's probably at its brightest, but
He just does this at the fucking table. It's okay.
still, as time passes, it'll get darker and darker out. It's probably at its brightest now. It's the most convenient time.
Only about an hour has passed since Rosa-san was attacked. This is simply too reckless.
It was only natural that Natsuhi was yelling about recklessness. After all, Rudolph had said he was going to the mansion to get food. Certainly, on top of their fatigue, their hunger was tormenting them. In the beginning, a mild level of hunger had been just what they needed to fight off drowsiness. However, it now just made their minds hazy since it was still only midday, and their bodies felt like they were reaching their limits. The thought of going to the kitchen in the mansion and bringing back some food certainly was attractive.
I am opposed to this. It may be a little rough, but we definitely shouldn't leave this place.
don't worry about us, but it would pain my heart to keep the children hungry. I must be responsible as a parent.
Dear, now that father is dead, you are the Ushinomiya family head. It is not permissible for you to take on such danger.
Whatever.
You're right. It's like Natsuhi-san says. Cross-san, you should remain here as our leader.
Rudolph wants the Lunchables in the mansion.
He wants the Lunchables.
I gotta go back and get the pizza. You like the crackers, right, brother? I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
the
this one
turkey
has a
ones.
crunch bar.
Trade you for my Kit Kat?
All right, deal, but only if I can have some of your shredded cheese. Then we'll go to the mansion.
That's was supposed
It's
to
too
be
late.
gross.
He's asking himself now.
Okay.
I think it should be Kyrie and Hideyoshi-san, too. Hideyoshi-san and I have guns. They shouldn't be able to lay a hand on us that easily.
Rosa-san also had a gun, but she was attacked. Won't it be dangerous?
When I went out to check on Rosa and Maria-chan, I had a gun, but I was alone. And yet I wasn't attacked. Maybe they'll be cautious if their opponent is a man. And they'll let me get the danimals.
He opens the fridge and it's all Lunchley, and Natsuki she was like, "What? You said that's what you wanted?" "No, I wanted the Lunchables." "It's not the same. This has mold."
He's an NFT scammer and everyone knows it! He starts shooting the refrigerator.
We make our money through honorable scams.
Heal 100 blind my ass!
Oh, God. We'll have 2 men and even 2 guns. Those 2 will act as guards, and I'll transport our cargo using a cart. I believe the situation will be significantly different than it was for Rosa-san.
Batley's a KSI fan. He's like, no, son, no!
I'm in the thick of it. Everybody knows.
If you're counting on me because I'm a man, I'd be happy to help. I may not look it, but I'm built up pretty strong from pushing food stands
Oh,
around.
fuck yeah.
Leave the heavy lifting to me.
You men can devote yourselves to guarding. There's a folding cart in the servant room, and using that I should be able to handle carrying the food. Of course, we'll be careful. And if we can succeed in this adventure just once, there won't be any need for us to take any risks again. Is there any way I can get you to rethink this?
No.
Okay.
All right, we'll take care. Ava's feeling pretty darn bad right now. We can't let her stay hungry. If her stomach's empty, she can't take her medicine. I have to go out for Ava's sake as well.
How is Ava?
Looks like she's finally gotten to sleep. She has a high fever. If we just leave her be for a while.
You can't just stand still when it comes to your wife's health. Understood. I'll give you permission to go
Oh,
outside.
you'll give him permission. Oh, that's so nice.
Hey, they appointed him leader, so that's how it is, you know?
Then we'll take a little trip there and back. A speed contest. Canned food's okay, right? Can at least have a can opener here, don't you?
Nazi, you need to understand. We can't go on without those Lunchables. We can't do it.
We need them, dude. They're gonna starve.
Yes, we have a can opener and a bottle opener. There's running water in the guest house, so we won't need anything to drink. We need to
No,
get
you
10
remember-
people's board. Yes?
No, continue to finish the
Pick him up what you can. Yes, sure.
I was gonna say, you remember the fucking Chef Boyardee commercial with the can rolling down the street?
Yes!
I just
Oh,
imagine
yeah.
that happening on Rokkenjima. Just like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Oh, yeah.
That's fire.
The witch summoned the
The
ravioli.
Chef Boyardee ravioli
Oh,
can.
God.
Oh, that's fire.
All right, why don't we dash out and bring it back quickly? There's no time to open umbrellas.
See you, Aniki. I'll trust you look after this place.
Alright, so they're all dead. Take care. Under normal circumstances, I'd want to go too. Being a man, I despise how this title of the oldest brother prevents me from lending a hand in an emergency like
Yeah,
this.
you do, bro. Yeah,
me,
you do.
me,
Yeah.
all me.
This is about the only time we get to show off. Sit back and take it easy every once in a while, Aniki, and stop being a douche. Okay, Natsuki-san. Wait here and get some towels ready or something.
Go find the fucking
We aren't using
Lunchables.
umbrellas, so we'll be soaked to the bone when we get back.
Understood. Take care.
Okay, goodbye. You're all
Rudolph,
dead.
Kyrie, and Hideyoshi, each leaving their own brave words behind, left the lobby.
It looks like they died, but they actually spilled the tomato sauce all over the...
Yeah, they fucked up making the Lunchables.
Yeah.
Compared to the time Rosa and Maria had gone outside, the winds were much stronger. Rudolph's group of 3 people jogged through the rose garden without umbrellas, holding their guns in a folded cot. If everything had been still and quiet without the wind or the rain, they would probably have kept their rears open and moved with caution.
Oh dear.
But in this rain, even if some suspicious person was hiding nearby, it would be difficult to notice them. Because of that, it had been Rudolph's plan to instead dash through the dangerous area. If there was a chance that their opponent was equipped with a gun, then walking slowly with a guard up would only make them targets. Taking swift action was probably the correct choice.
Probably.
A rose garden. It feels like we're just asking to be attacked.
Oh, fire.
Please let nobody come out of there. Even as Rudolph and Hideyoshi continued on to run, they looked around restlessly, vigilant of their surroundings. Rosa and Maria's deaths had not been caused by a projectile weapon. However, it was easy to suspect that the servants had been killed in such a manner. Will they continue flying out of the dark? Or will they take careful aim and snipe from the shadows? Either way, they couldn't relax their tension for even an instant. But even so, when they reached the overhang in front of the entrance to the mansion and escaped the reach of the raindrops, they felt themselves breathing a sigh of relief.
No problems for the first step, unlike how it was for Rosa-san. Maybe they can't get their hands on us easily.
I'd like to believe that. Kyrie unlocked the... I'd like to believe that. Kyrie, unlock the door while we keep a lookout.
Sure. Returning home to the mansion with this pair of SPs makes me feel just like an executive. Wow.
If we had a welcoming party of servants with a red carpet, it'd be perfect. Too bad they're all dead.
No.
A welcoming party, huh? You never know. Be careful. As the two cautiously surveyed their surroundings, Kyrie unlocked the entrance of the master keys she had been given.
It's open.
Hideyoshi-san, could you take the front?
You'd work as an
Only I'm
excellent
allowed
meat shield.
Only I'm allowed to take the back of my wife. I'll keep an eye on the rear of my wife.
Understood. Kyrie-san, try not to move from my shadow. Okay, let's break in.
Your guard. Roger that. Cover it.
Oh my god, guys.
Are you fucking role-playing?
Be serious. Amen. Even in a situation like this, you're just playing around, aren't you?
Definitely was just Rudolph playing around.
Give it up. That's just how men are. Seriously, though. That stench is awful.
Oh.
It felt like the air in the mansion was stagnant with a gloomy silence and several corpses in several rooms that no one bothered to really look into as much as I hoped they would. And on top of that, it was still thick with the stench from Kinzo's burnt corpse in the boiler room. And they were struck with an uncontrollable desire to leave the mansion.
No problems in the front. Just a short dash to the kitchen.
Let's finish this quickly and head home. This shit'll get fumigated with Dad's stench.
Oh my god.
God.
The three of them dashed towards the kitchen.
Oh my
I
god.
think my creaky chair adds to the atmosphere.
Oh my god, whoa.
After they disappeared from the entrance hall, the new witch appeared there.
I am the one who is stinky. They were lured out just as planned. Just as planned. They got caught. I'm doing Beatrice's voice.
Yeah,
even
you
though
are.
This is the wrong character. They were lured out just as planned. Just as planned. They got caught in my trap.
She's like, I'm the heir to the family. I
I'm
get
the
all of
alpha."
the Lunchables.
Yeah.
Thinking about it now, no matter how unbearable their hunger had grown, it hadn't even been a few hours since Rosa and Maria had been attacked and had lost their lives. In that case, why had they needed to recklessly leave the guest house? Until that question could be dealt with, the only answer was that they had been called out by the witch's magic, or they were hungry.
What reckless people. They'll never leave this mansion alive. Seal yourselves. Lock. Seal yourself, mansion!
The instant she proclaimed that, the mansion was sealed off into a separate world. Unless her barrier was undone, no longer would anyone be able to exit this mansion or to re-enter. Spectacular to think that even though barely half a day has passed since you succeeded the Endless Witch, you can use magic this well. That talent surprises me. It's almost as though you were born a witch.
Well, I have been a witch since the time of my birth. Who taught you how to blink? That's what using magic is like for me.
What a fearsome person.
Well, you're just so fucking cool, aren't you?
Yeah, you just you're not even in a portrait. The witch's face twisted with brutality. She couldn't help looking forward to toying with someone's life again.
Well then.
Yeah, what she said.
First up is Rudolph and Kyrie, but in what cruel way should I kill them?
If you do not mind me saying, your predecessor, Sama, has left instructions that you are to restrain yourself from committing murders of unnecessary cruelty. And there is an etiquette for offering the sacrifices from the Fourth Twilight onwards. For that, you must borrow the power of the Seven Sisters of Purgatory.
Oh, really? Now that you mention it, that's right. I could only play as I like with that second Twilight. Boring. Just when I thought I could play to my heart's content like I did with Rosa. But that only counts for how they're killed in the end, right?
Meaning?
I could just kill them however I want over and over again, revive them, and then follow the epitaph during the last time I kill them, right? So, in the end, no matter how I play, it isn't a problem. Who'd act well behaved with an entertaining power like this?
Her absurd argument was, for an Endless Witch, an extremely valid one. The etiquette that controlled the manner of killing the sacrifices of the Fourth Twilight and onward was represented by lines like gouge the head. However, that referred to the way those people died in the end. In other words, in the process leading up to that, she was free to tease and kill them however she wanted. She just had to keep on reviving them and follow the rules only when she killed them the final time. Though Renove felt that her innocent cruelty was a part of her talent as a witch, he was beginning to notice an innately brutal side of her. They do say that appearances are the most brutal of witches. Apprentices,
Yeah.
are the most brutal of witches. And now I see this may be true. Do as you wish, it is what I would like to say. But here it may actually be wiser to show restraint.
It's what I would say.
They have guns.
Oh.
Weapons with a high anti-magic power, such as guns, are the natural enemies
Whoa.
of witches and demons.
Let's go. You can
I've
shoot
been
a
watching a lot of Supernatural. Oh, those Winchesters, they're so funny.
witch. One's gay.
One of them is gay. The witch stared blankly at this demon butler, who was surprisingly afraid of guns.
That can't be right. Shouldn't witches be able to take a shot from a bullet easily?
No, it would just be as you die for gun. It would be for normal human you die.
God
Prevent
kill
that
you, you
weak
die.
point from being noticed. Most witches rigorously strengthen their guard with a defense of protective barriers and furniture.
Do I have any of those protective barrier things?
Constructing a barrier to make even gun bullets in it. Sorry,
Uh-huh.
gun bullets.
Gun bullets.
Gun bullets ineffective requires much in the way of preparation and ceremony.
Witches die when they are killed. Real.
I am afraid to say that Beatrice-sama currently has none of those. Furthermore, you are currently ill-prepared to summon furniture strong enough to block a bullet.
So even though I become a great witch with this much magical power, I really do have to be afraid of lead bullets.
Get good, Elbozo.
It's annoying, but I don't have a choice. So in that case, should I call some furniture to act as my arms and legs? Yeah?
Real.
Yes, leaving everything to your servants while not exposing yourself to danger is also a part of a witch's refined taste. Beatrice-sama, leave this to the furniture and hide in a safe place
got
where
me.
you won't die via gun bullets.
I get it. I call on the 7 Sisters of Purgatory. I don't care who, any two.
Oh my god.
Leviathan and Belphegor responded to that call. I forget who those are.
It's Kermit and me. Oh my god. Why do I have to do the ooh voice? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Do you like my eyes?
That's funny.
What does ooh voice say?
Leviathan of Envy right here!
Melfagor of Sloth right here. What the fuck are you doing?
Show me your power! Your targets are Rudolph and Kyrie. Don't attack Hideyoshi. Come on, show me you so cool you could be furniture!
Wait, is that me?
Yeah, it's you!
Fuck, wait, I thought it was...
No! The Kermit one is the one with the the triangle bangs.
Oh yeah, she has the Vegeta bangs.
My apologies, but we received orders from the predecessor Sama to refrain from us, and that's, we can't be that cruel. I can't say unless nope, can't do that in that voice.
I think the predecessor Sama's orders give us some leeway to tease them. Do you still want to go through with it? I get it. I'll compromise. Don't let them die easily. Throw the corner them and let them taste the fear of death before killing them. Will that be okay, Run over?
Yes, depending on the
my
degree, I do not believe there will be a problem. Why did everyone
Bingo!
suddenly catch cold?
Yeah, do it to us!
Leave it to her.
Your opponents are armed with guns. For those such as you, dodging them should be easy. But if you are hit, the wound will be fatal. Proceed with an appropriate level of caution.
Don't worry, we aren't that incompetent. I'm totally not gonna get shot.
The 2 sisters of Purgatory vanished. Renove bowed and vanished himself. Peace out.
There are even rules on how to kill them. Why do I have to be constrained by my predecessor Osama? It is so rigid and boring. Okay.
As the witch looked up at the portrait of the predecessor Beatrice hung in the hall, she cursed.
Fuck!
The 3 people had already arrived at the kitchen and were gathering food supplies. Considering the possibility of poison, they gave up on the alluring fruits and vegetables,
Thank God I'm free.
and they were forced to gather cardboard boxes full of lunchly. It was very heavy, but piling it on the cart, they could carry it well enough. There should be more than enough for 10 people to hold out until tomorrow's breakfast. That should carry them until the boat arrived. The 2 men were supposed to be focused solely on guard duty, but the weight of the load was tough on Kyrie even with the cart. Hideyoshi, who wanted to show off his power, switched to be the cart pusher, and Rudolph and his wife took up the task of guard duty.
Let's go cart pusher.
With all this, even George and the kids will be full. The trip back will be a picnic, so let's go.
When Hideyoshi vigorously announced the departure, Kyrie frowned and seemed to be gazing into the distance. There was a wall in that direction. Now, if a gaze could go through that, there was the main hall beyond it. What is it, Kyrie?
It's vague, but I've got a bad feeling gnawing at me.
Kyrie stopped walking and narrowed her eyes further. Woman's intuition. At times like this, Kyrie's intuition often rang true, even when she didn't have a logical reason. Rudolph believed in that intuition.
Yes, someone's probably waiting to ambush us. I didn't sense them before, but just now I felt it. Just now someone set up an ambush for us.
Then there's no reason to go back the way we came. There's a back door over there, right? Let's leave that way. Rudolph made to unlock the back door. When the goods were carried into the kitchen, they never passed through the part of the mansion that the family came and went from. Why didn't they go in through the kitchen door? So outside the back door, there was probably a ramp used to carry things in. Surely they would be able to leave through there with the cart. What the heck? It's stuck. Damn, what's going on?
Can't you open it?
Nope, it's broken. It isn't given an inch. Rudolph tried various things, first using force, then coaxing it. The lock was as hard as stone and didn't even budge.
Don't force it. Let's leave through the front entrance. Right now, it'll be even worse if we stand around wasting time.
You think this is a trap?
I don't know. Be careful.
With strained expressions, the three of them returned to the hall again and headed for the entrance.
No.
Who is it? The instant they exited into the hall, Rudolph noticed a suspicious shadow right in front of them and yelled. In that instant, a storm of gold leaf started blowing. Gold butterflies covered the area with a gold color. Fuck,
Yeah,
wait. I forget the names.
I can't believe it. A lonely human predicted our ambush.
It isn't my fault. I was hiding my presents.
Don't hesitate! Fire! Oh shit!
The two guns spouted fire. The lead bullets blasted right through the magical defense the defense of the pair, as easily as though it were a wet paper wall.
Oh.
But the two figures that should have been there had disappeared. Certainly, guns were frightening objects for them. But there was no need to fear as long as they weren't hit. They at least had enough speed to dodge those.
Wait a sec. You won't even give us a chance to say our names? This is why I hate humans.
Leviathan was a full 10 meters from where she had supposedly been, popping her head out from behind the pillars in the shadow of the staircase and protesting.
That's Kermie.
In accordance with the Beatrice-sama's orders, we will hunt you down. Orders tell us to make it take some time and tease you. You are free to resist, but know that it will be useless.
That voice came from overhead.
Oh.
Belphegor could be seen on top of the whole chandelier. Elegantly looking down at them, she proclaimed their execution with a cool smile.
What are these girls?
Forget the cart! We have two opponents, so if we split up, they can't chase all of us.
Dumbass, no.
Dumbass?
What? Why, you were smart like 2 seconds ago. All three of them are well acquainted with the inside of the mansion. In case of a crisis, they had planned to run off in separate directions, returning to the guest house by breaking windows or leaving through the back door. Fighting was forbidden. As long as they could fully escape. In a tight spot, escaping is victory. The three of them ran into the depths of the mansion at full tilt. That pair of furniture calmly watched them go.
I'll kill the woman. You take the man.
Understood.
This song is so fire.
The furniture in the shadow of the pillars and on their chandelier made their figures explode. Leaving behind only the sound of a hopping beetle knocking against the wall, they pursued their respective targets. Their speed was overwhelming, and they easily blocked the others' paths of retreat.
Let's see what this furniture's got. I hope they're at least able to amuse me.
Beatrice-sama, it may not be prudent for you to reveal your true form unless you don't fucking show up.
And you don't unnecessarily move your king away from the center. That's part of a monarch's and a witch's dignity. Oh.
Belphegor was already blocking the way in front of Rudolph, who had boldly tried to escape the second floor. To the second floor.
It's useless. Try and resist or escape. You don't... fuck, I can't read right now. You don't need to think about anything. Just close your eyes. And I'll gently end it all for you.
Oh!
What the shit?
What the fuck, Rudolph?
You'd make a good wife. Husbands love to hear that kind of thing when they come home all tired.
The thing goes, you're still relaxed enough to speak with such insolence at a time like this. Beatrice-sama, thank you for this excellent prey. Die.
Oh! Look at
Holy
CG,
shit,
look
I
at
like that
CG.
CG.
Oh my god, it's like Star Wars.
Rudolph shot first.
Oh.
But even before the bullet could hit her, Belphegor had already moved behind Rudolph's back. She then raised a purple curve, spinning out from her arm.
Oh.
However, incredibly, before that arm could decapitate Rudolph, he had swung his gun behind him. The barrel remained pointing behind his back from the same motion which he had reloaded the sawed-off gun one-handedly. It was pointing right at Belphegor's chest. Click, ka-chunk. It was the sound of the ejected empty cartridge finally hitting the wall after the reload. In other words, it meant that the next shot was already fully loaded. Without turning around, his gun pointed right at Belphegor's chest. Rudolph grinned. Not bad. For a middle-aged man!
Damn, her voice got deep.
Oh, wait. No shit, I thought that was Rudolph. I thought he was being badass. Never mind.
Not bad for a middle-aged man.
Don't look down on the generation that love old westerns, okay? You brats don't know anything about the refinement of a lever action. Just like Rudolph, Kyrie was also confronting a demon stake in the first floor corridor.
What a moron! You could have just escaped with your husband. You do know that was your final farewell just now, right? Don't worry. This kind of thing is my husband's specialty. I'm sure he'll come for me on a white horse soon. Because he's never failed to come and save me when I'm in trouble. Not even when Asumi-san was around. What a happy couple! I'm jealous. I am Leviathan of Envy. Envy itself is my power, my anger, my lifeblood. I agree. Envy is the source of a woman's power. And if that is power, I won't lose to a girl like you. Imagine saying that to the one who governs envy! You actually think I'd let you two be reunited? I'll give you a tragic farewell!
The arm Leviathan swung was trailed by a purple curve. It was a magic blade that cut with the power of malice. Kyrie blocked it with a gun. Even though the magic blade should have cut through the metal like butter, the gun, with its extremely high magical resistance power, was able to block the blade as easily as if it were a rolled up newspaper. Rapidly, 2 times, 3 times, it blocked all of them. So anything that has the high anti-magic power is stuff that's like an affront to God, or like the natural way of things, pretty much. So like
yeah.
they need to just start deep frying shit in the mansion. And then
Yeah, true.
They need to start splicing fucking rose genes. Only GMO roses on the Rokkenjima Island.
Dude, throw the Lunchables at them. It's super processed.
Formaldehyde, no!
Cheese product.
And without missing the opening created with that purple curve, took a swing upward. Kyrie kicked Leviathan in the stomach with her heel. Leviathan was knocked away like a lightly dancing feather. Before the demon's 6 feet touched the ground again, Kyrie was already pointing her gun directly at Leviathan in midair.
Power couple.
From that position, 2 women who had called envy a form of power met each other's gaze.
Can you do it? Can you pull that trigger?
I can be brutal when my husband isn't around. Bam!
Damn, that's so cool.
Ding, bang, bada boom. You're dead.
Oh.
Ow, 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 ow! Rudolph tumbled down the staircase. He'd been gradually cornered by Belphegor and had been pushed back into the main hall they'd started from.
Guys, it's like the Family Guy bit.
Predecessor Sama's furniture is pretty good. They aren't very flashy though.
Beatrice-sama, it isn't over yet, and it's dangerous to show yourself.
Oh!
Don't tell me you're... Eva?
That used to be my name. But it's different now, Rudolph.
You don't have to tell me. You're gonna say you're the Golden Witch Beatrice, right?
How did you know?
Since the time Rosa was killed, I had a vague idea. Rosa, forgive me. Forgive me for sending the sister you hated down to the hell you're in!
Damn!
Beatrice-sama, look out!
This is so intense. Oh my god.
Rudolph mercilessly pointed the barrel of his gun at the witch who claimed to have once been his sister. But Belphegor would not permit that and attacked savagely.
Oh.
She dashed, disappeared, and headed for Rudolph's back. She dodged that shot again and headed for Rudolph's back. Wait, what? And vanished over and over, instantly moving into Rudolph's blind spots. It was almost like she was a fairy. As she blinked in and out of vision, Belphegor incessantly drove towards Rudolph.
Maybe this is kind of fun. Rudolph, let me sit back and watch to see how long your brave efforts last you.
At that time, there was a dull tearing sound along with Rudolph's cry of anguish. Rudolph's reaction to the dance of the purple curve that pressed upon him had finally been too slow, and he let it lightly cut his flank. That single wound slowed him down just once. That led to a new wound, which slowed his actions again. Rudolph!
Rudolph!
Belphegor's dance began to swallow Rudolph whole. Watching Rudolph's body gradually get carved up, his former sister let out a shrill laugh.
I told you they were all dead, bro.
Nah, Hideyoshi's chilling.
Where the fuck is he, bro?
Yeah, he's chilling.
Leviathan could no longer hide her irritation that Kyrie hadn't suffered a single fatal wound.
I really am a moron. Among the 7 sisters, I was always the slowest to grow. I was always slow, always weak, always stupid. That inferiority complex became envy, and when I convert that into power, I gain a strength greater than any of that of the sisters. It's important for young girls to have a moderate inferiority complex.
Okay.
Okay, it teaches women about cosmetics and hard work. I don't like having to use the limits of my power against mere humans, but I can turn my envy of your ability to trust completely in your husband into power. I don't like it. Why are you so relaxed when you're fighting for your life? I wonder. Get it? You're fully convinced that your husband will come to your rescue and save you. Isn't it incredible, that trust of yours? It's enough to make me jealous. Okay, what kind of trust did we sisters have for each other? The sisters are
I'm
always
not a
looking down on each
sister.
other, trying to thoroughly lambast each other when things already look bad. I've always been bullied by my sisters. I've always wanted just one person to take my side. So when I see you with a single ally who's completely trustworthy, I feel the strongest envy. That confident expression of utter belief in your husband! I can feel it giving me power! I might even surpass that! The speed of sound!
Shoot scaling moment. Can't be
Oh,
Goku though.
shit. Leviathan turned herself into a stake, and the speed of her flight was as she attacked was proportional to the strength of her envy.
Oh! Since the day my sisters looked down on me, I was jealous from the bottom of my heart of the other 6, who grew quickly. I was jealous for 7 days and 7 nights and none! No more! You can see the power I gained as a result of my speed. Die, Ushinomiya Kirie! Ah!
The demon stake exposed her true form, leaping about at a terrible speed. The noise from her bouncing off the wall sounded like a machine gun. By now, Kyrie probably couldn't tell if it was a single stake or a swarm of beetles, not bees, flying around, bouncing around. Leviathan was over 100% certain of her victory, believing in it from the bottom of her heart. Then, Kyrie spoke with an unbelievably calm voice.
I was the one who went out with Rudolph-san first. Asuma-san blatantly cut in between us and shrewdly got pregnant. I don't blame Rudolph-san. That woman used her body as a weapon to seduce him, and then acted even more repulsively, cornering Rudolph-san and forcing him to get engaged to her.
Oh, plot twist. She really was a bitch
damn.
wife.
Asuma-san had been carrying Badaloo-kun, and at the same time, I was also carrying a boy.
Wait, what?
As fate would have it, our delivery dates were on the same day. Then, Asuma-san gave birth to Badaloo-kun, but I had a miscarriage.
Oh shit!
I think about it, sometimes. What if Asuma-san had the miscarriage, and I had been the one to give birth? Would Rudolph-san have broken off his engagement and married me? But I couldn't give birth to my child. So until Asuma-san died, and until I got pregnant with Anjay, I cursed Asuma-san and was jealous. Let Asuma-san die. Then, I want him to marry me. In my envy, I kept cursing like that, over and over, until Asuma-san finally died. I was certain that I'd use the power of magic to curse and kill Asuma-san. But that didn't quell the flames of my envy. Don't tell anyone, okay? Every time I look at Badaloo-kun, I remember that woman. Every single time I look at him, I think that if only my child had been born, he would have been the same age. I'm still jealous of her, tormented by her. Even now, even from now on, into the future, for all eternity. You say you were jealous of your sisters for 7 days and 7 nights. That's right. Oh dear.
Oh my god, now she's freaking scary.
Don't make me laugh, little girl.
How could you understand the madness of a woman whose man was stolen from her and who's burned with envy for 18 years? Oh dear.
That's crazy, bro. So, whatchamacallit? His first wife hella baby trapped him.
Yeah. Damn. And the entire time Kyrie was just like, die, bitch, die.
She was
fucking
hella
die.
pining, bro. She was hella pining for him.
Damn.
I didn't expect that, though, that he actually dated her first, but they couldn't be together. I hella thought she was the second love.
Nah, man.
Nah, man.
Nah, man.
If Leviathan had the power of 24 hours times 7 days, or 168 hours of speed, then the power that Kyrie had piled up was 24 hours in 1 day, 365 days in 1 year, and 18 whole years. Even without counting leap years, that was 157,680 hours. Compared to Leviathan's power and speed, it was more than 938 times greater.
Oh god.
So even then, if Leviathan could soar at the speed of sound, 1,225 kilometers an hour, to Kyrie's eyes, it only looked like 1/938th of that.
Damn. Oh my god,
Oh
math!
my god. Which means 1,225 divided by 938 is a speed of 1.3
Damn.
kilometers an
That
hour.
was slow.
They say a human's walking speed is 4 kilometers an hour, so it was even less than half of that. This is almost the same speed as if a baby crawling on the floor. Which means
Bernobe's just like pulling out his fucking abacus. It's like,
I love mathematics and short-haired hot women. In the time it took the demon stake to move at a pace so slow that you could count all the bits of dust floating through the air, Kyrie looked at it with pity. She pitied the slowness at which it came towards her. Then, she lazily raised the barrel of her gun, almost as though she was trying to swallow the demon stake up with the gun barrel.
you're completely lacking in both romance and envy. Try harder next time, little girl.
Bang.
Come on, please. Human W, please.
Human W! Human
I think-
W!
I think the other two are gonna die, but I think she's gonna live.
Rudolph, what happened to all that vigor from a couple seconds ago? You're supposed to slice up a fish while it's still flopping around.
Hideyoshi
After it
just tackles
dies.
her down the stairs.
It isn't interesting anymore. That's enough. Why not kill you now?
Damn it.
I'm surprised you managed to endure this long after being carved up. It's fair enough. From now on, you don't need to think about anything. I'll steal your life away painlessly.
Wait, there's a favor I want to ask. At the very end, I want to do one of those.
What do you mean, one of those?
I swear to God. Oh wait, no. Based.
The thing you see in all the westerns. We start with our backs together, walk 3 steps, and then bang.
I thought it was gonna be something sexual. This is based.
I hope he cheats, immediately turns around and shoots
Dude,
her
I
in the
really
back.
hope he does that also.
I hope so. I hope he's like, I'm a
"Bye."
villain, bitch.
You guys
Bam.
have tried, dummy. Humans lie. Bang.
Ah, duel. Very well. If that will satisfy your regrets in this world, I'll accept.
Rudolph moved his wound-covered body and turned his back to her. Belphegor responded and turned her back to his. Belphegor had an honest nature that was uncommon in a witch's furniture.
Let me warn you, even if you press the barrel of your gun between my eyebrows, I can move instantaneously faster than you could pull the trigger and have the bullet reach my skull.
Yeah, I can feel that already. You're faster than a bullet.
I have agreed to this out of respect for your courage in challenging me to a duel. Despite that knowledge, thank me.
Well, you're an honest and principled person. And a good woman. You might just steal my heart away.
Let's begin. 3 steps will do fine, yes? First 1 step. 2 steps.
That was your mouth.
Two steps.
3 steps. Is that okay?
Yep. Since you still haven't noticed after walking 3 whole steps, it's my victory in this.
What? Ow!
Hell yeah!
Let's go!
He a cheetah.
Rudolph turned around and fired a bullet. However, Belphegor could easily see through the speed and trajectory of a bullet like that. It should have been no problem at all to dodge it. But a spray of fresh blood flew about. Belphegor had set up an adequate magical defensive barrier. But before an incarnation of anti-magic power such as that bullet, it was completely meaningless.
What are you doing? Why'd you get hit?
The bullet had hit Belphegor right in the chest. The pain from the lead caused her to grimace, as did the pain from the denial of magic. Forgive me. I'm a coward of a man.
What a killjoy. To think that furniture of a witch could be defeated by a human. Know your shame. Worthless, pathetic. If only you just grovel and die.
Quit it, Anarchy. She could have dodged it, but she didn't. She realized that you were in the line of fire, Anarchy. So, this faithful girl took it without dodging, protecting you. At the very end, she saw that I was pinning the rook and the king.
He's talking in chess!
Spectacular.
I'll hate you for it. I plan to resign if you noticed it while you were taking those 3 steps.
You added those 3 steps out of consideration for me, didn't you? I didn't even try to think about it. I was lazy.
Oh!
Oh. Oh.
Oh. Oh.
You were a good woman. Go to heaven before me. Get yourself all made up. I'll definitely come and chat you up.
Hey, he wrote
Guys,
off!
this might be Riz. Gotta admit,
He said, I'm gonna raise you up in heaven.
this might be Riz.
As Belphegor slowly fell over, she lost even the power that kept her in human form. She grew small, like gold dust, melting into thin air.
Oh.
At that point, Kyrie dashed in. It seemed that she had somehow defeated her pursuer by her own hand.
Human W's.
She pointed the barrel of a gun straight at the witch. She ran up to the wound covered to Rudolph.
Are you okay? Were you chatting someone up just now?
Yep, the good woman. No match for you, of course. Sorry, Anarchy. It's checkmate.
Oh!
The 2 of them pinned the witch down with the barrel of their guns.
Worthless furniture. To think they'd be beaten by human opponents. Worthless. Stupid. Boring!
Beatrice-sama, we should retreat for now. There is no furniture or barrier to guard against bullets here.
Oh, muffled?
You look at her gross teeth.
Yeah.
The witch began to let out a muffled laugh. It surprised not only Rudolph and Kyrie, but Renove as well. Because a situation like this, with 2 guns pointed at her, was not even one that a witch could just laugh off. But the witch laughed with pleasure.
Well, it's only natural that the predecessor Sama's worn out furniture couldn't do it. I need to get new furniture that's suitable for me. I use them out of obligation, but I've always hated second-hand stuff.
Excuse me.
Damn.
As she said that, she looked down at Belphegor's remains, which had already finished turning into a pile of gold dust, with disgust.
Oh.
I don't know what you're talking about. Be a good girl and put your hands up.
Oh, yeah.
That's his sister, bro.
That's his sister.
Umi Frico continues. Incest is everywhere.
Hey,
You
it's not
cannot
his sister
escape
anymore.
incest in
It's
your
not his sister
VN.
anymore.
Oh, real.
Yeah, it's
But
Beatrice.
biologically?
The witch obediently raised her hand. But, instead of raising her hands because a gun was pointed at her, it looked like she was a conductor facing an orchestra, waving her conductor's baton.
Come, arise, furniture suitable for me! Not that cheap furniture, much stronger ones, cruel ones!
Is it
Stop
time
this
for new
bizarre
characters
act.
again?
I'll pull the trigger.
In response to the witch's call, the hall was once again buried with the color of gold. As the brilliantly radiant gold butterflies danced, it felt as though they were being sucked into an ocean of gold leaf. Renove was shocked at that upsurge in magical power. After all, it far surpassed that of his former.
Oh.
As the eyes were dazzled amidst this golden flash, a gunshot could be heard. With Rudolph of Kyrie had fired a round. Then, when the golden flash subsided, at the very least, the witch was standing there, looking cool and composed. The bullet? Kyrie must have fired it into her, but the witch had not been hit anywhere on her body. There it is. The bullet had been fastened in midair right in front of the witch's chest. Bulletproof barrier. In an instant, a barrier that would require a significant amount of magic preparation, even for the predecessor, had been... Renove's face was twisted in shock. And the surprises did not end there. The cloud of gold... The cloud of gold butterflies had created 2 humanoid forms.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
yeah.
New
Aw,
characters,
yeah.
yay!
The cloud of gold butterflies had created 2 humanoid forms. It was a furniture summoning.
My girlies.
I saw the one on the left on Twitter today.
Why is the one... Are they from Norway?
Is that the Norwegian
Flags.
flag?
Isn't that the... No?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I forget what flag that is.
I did poorly in school, so I can't tell you.
I'm pretty sure it's Norway. The butterflies peeled off and flew away, and beneath them, furniture in the shape of girls showed themselves. Was it Shyster?
The Shice, yeah, Shice.
Shiesty?
Shiesty?
The Shiesty Core?
Or shit like, I don't know.
Shyster, Sister Core. Even the predecessor wasn't able to summon a Pendragon's memorial troops on a moment's notice, and to do it so easily.
Please give the one with the blue hair a Bugs Bunny voice. All right, and you're up.
What? Oh god, okay.
Bugs Bunny.
Chai Esther? Chi what?
What? I'm looking this up. Pronunciation.
Chi Esther.
Chiester? Okay. Alright. Chiester 410, right here.
I guess I'll do similar.
Chiesta 45 right here! You 2 are suitable furniture for me, I take it.
From reading a picture book out aloud to going on a date to shooting down meteorites. We'll take care of anything, Doc.
If we don't take care of it, Pendragon Summer will get mad at us! Please, your orders, Great Lady Beatrice!
Rudolph-san, let's run for it. We're no match for these ones.
Sure.
Guys, I think you're going to freaking die.
I think they're going to freaking die right now.
Sorry, I'm looking at. Okay, so it's the Norwegian flag, but the colors are reversed. Wait, no, it's a different Scandinavian. Hold on, I have to figure this out, or my brain's gonna. 1 second. One
Bro
second.
loves flags.
1 second. Yeah, maybe.
Hey, flags are kind of cool. Well, Sheldon Cooper presents Sheldon Cooper's Fun with Flags, featuring Amy Farrah Fowler.
Pretty
Is
much
that
what's
a
going.
Big Bang reference?
Yeah, you gotta remember, babe, I've seen that whole show against my will.
I've seen bits and
Not
pieces of it
really.
against my will.
I have seen every single episode, unfortunately.
Oh my god.
My mom really enjoyed it. I used to enjoy it for a time, and then I passed the age of 12.
Oh.
Iceland. They're Icelandic.
Wow!
Icelandic, wow.
I'm pretty sure. Why are they Icelandic? What?
No.
I don't know.
Iceland is evil, apparently.
I can
Apparently.
believe it. Nobody wants to
Kyrie
live somewhere that
definitely-
cold.
Kyrie definitely heard warning sirens going off in her head, thanks to the same feeling that had alerted her to the ambush by the Seven Sisters of Purgatory. Without hesitation, they escaped. As the witch elegantly watched them leave, she commanded her new furniture.
This is an order. Kill the two who ran away. Then bring the corpses back here. I'll bring them back to life and play with them over and over.
The witch's expression twisted into an evil smile. Even though she feared that expression, Lucifer appeared and spoke.
Forgive my presumption, but the predecessor Sama asked that you avoid brutal actions of that sort.
When the witch stared at her with those terrifying eyes, Lucifer was dumbstruck. She was frustrated. It was so boring not being able to let her own power and cruelty run wild. This annoying furniture of the predecessor kept telling her to show restraint, bringing her irritation to a peak.
Oh, it's Lucifer of Pride. Long time no see. Eh? How you doing? Let's play together sometime, Doc.
You mustn't whisper before 10, you'll get in trouble. Let's carry out the Great Lady Beatrice's order at once.
Ah, shut up. Oh yeah, we're on the job right now. 410, roger that, Doc. Preparing for sniping pursuit combat.
Hold it on that screen. I'm trying to. I'm reading it in the booted firing guidance system.
Initiating
Initiating.
Activation data collection. I'm holding my phone up to the screen.
Accumulated
Oh,
terrain.
fire.
Accumulating data for firing. Data link with 410.
410, data received, Doc. Target locker
Forming
quiet.
firing curve.
Commencing terrain calculation error correction. Formulating firing curve supplemental control point calculations are complete. Data link to 45.
45 data received. Chicken hazard zone. That's no good.
Accuracy. Oh, damn it.
Sorry.
It was accuracy 90-something%.
Lucifer, Doc, better get out from behind us or you'll get roasted by the back blast.
Thanks to their paired measurements, the Chiesta sisters were able to. I hate that. Were able to instantly calculate the terrain throughout the mansion and the coordinates of their targets, as well as firing a curve to reach them. That's right, their shots could be guided to follow a curved line. No one could escape. The precision guidance used by the Seven Sisters of Purgatory was nothing more than a cheap knockoff to the ability these two held.
Oh. 45. Firing preparations concluded. Ammo type selected and loaded.
As the two of them faced each other, it was as though they were both pulling back a bowstring.
Oh.
dazzling gold arrow was readied there.
410? Fire it.
Oh.
After giving that announcement, they released a single arrow together. As the path taken by the gold-sparkling snake of light drew a curve, it followed the direction that Rudolph and Kyrie had escaped into in a rapid pursuit. It turned through corridors, crawled over the floor, chasing them as it drew a beautiful curve.
Oh, yeah.
No one could block the guided shots of the Chiaista sisters. No one could escape from them. And their strength could pierce all physical and magical defenses. It was quite a merciless guided weapon of certain death. However, among the mythical class of soldiers, it was a weapon used by pretty much everyone. It was very commonplace for them, and very extraordinary for those of the everyday world. What the? When he noticed something rapidly chasing them and turned around, the exact position of Rudolph's heart was pierced by the gold snake. It all happened in an instant.
Rudolph's son?
After the gold snake pierced Rudolph, it swooped down to the floor, drawing a beautiful spiral, coiled itself around Kyrie's legs, and crawled up to her chest. And just like Rudolph, it pierced the exact location of her heart. And all of that happened in an instant. It pierced Rudolph, and Kyrie, though they died, dropped to their knees and fell over almost the exact same time.
What's this? Talk about overwhelming! Ridiculously easy, isn't it? This is the kind of furniture I need. Way different from predecessor Sama's second-hand furniture. Come on, bring their corpses here. I'll keep reviving them until I'm bored, and I'll try killing them in as brutal as a way as I could think of. To think being a witch could be so much fun. That taking a life could be so much fun. I'm tired of laughing.
You gotta laugh a lot in this, bro. So
I do, I goddamn do.
From the time humans are born, the most shunned action they can take is the murder of another human. It's only natural that humans can't understand how pleasurable it can be to break this taboo. But she was no longer human. She was a witch. And there were some pleasures that only witches could understand. By now, she had tasted those pleasures and was totally immersed in them. After learning that the contents of the forbidden pot were honey, she could no longer live without them. No, maybe the contents were honey because they were forbidden. Anyway, by killing humans gruesomely and doing it over and over, she could feel the drug-like pleasure even now. As the witch rolled over, laughing, the gold snake that had just been shot returned as though being reeled in. As the tips, 2 people were pinned and dragged along. The witch's order had been fulfilled. Rudolph and Kyrie had been killed instantly, and the corpses had been carried back.
Chases 45 and 410. Order execution complete. We await your next order, great Lady Beatrice. Please, your orders.
From babysitting to playing online games with you to shooting down a space shuttle, we'll take care of everything, Doc.
It looks like these 2 are the sacrifices for the 4th and 5th Twilights. So in the end, I'll need those worthless 7 sisters. Or are they the 5 sisters now? I need those guys to pierce and gouge the forehead and the chest. But I can do that at the very end, and I'm free to play in any way I want until then, right? Hey!
Uh-oh.
What the fuck?
What do you think you can do, bro?
Wait. Have you already forgotten what I told you? Oh, it's you, Predecessor Sama. Do you have any complaints? Of course I do. You're doing whatever you please, aren't you? Why haven't you followed my directions? What's wrong with doing as I please, Predecessor Sama? Anyway, I don't plan on deviating from the rules of the ceremony in the slightest. I'll definitely clean these two corpses up later and drive stakes into their forehead and chest. I'm telling you, that is not the problem. If you act so undignified and cruel, some people might take it badly. You mean your opponent in that game? The one you're supposedly fighting against somewhere? Renove told me.
He's a snitch, dude.
Damn that blabbermouth. Well, to be perfectly honest, that's how it is. If you go a little too far,
I mean, at the end of the day, bro, he's true neutral when you think about it.
that person will object, you see. Why can't this person just complain to me directly instead of making you take a message? That coward. Well, this is a resident of a different world from yours. There's no choice but to use me as an intermediary. Well, that's besides the point, but... Which means that this person couldn't interact with me even if they wanted to. And I can't interact with them even if I want to either. Simply put, this is a completely unrelated person from a world that distant, right? Indeed. For example, perhaps you could say these worlds are like very close parallel lines. The distance between them is quite small, but because the lines are parallel, they will never cross. For now, that should be a convenient way for you to view that world. They never cross, which means that world has nothing to do with me. If you're speaking for that person when you tell me to show restraint, please pass this message on to them.
Uh-oh.
To them? What should I say?
Uh-oh.
It's none of your business, so disappear, you old hag. If only you just give up and die. What? Oh, I'm sorry. Since it was a friend of yours, I just assumed she'd be a woman.
Damn, she said you got no game.
By old hag, I'm definitely not talking about you, Predecessor Sama. So please don't get mad at me.
Oh. When she spoke, the witch was looking straight into Beato's eyes. Anyone present would be able to tell what she meant by it.
Predecessor Sama, there's something I find really strange. Why do you have to play a game with someone from another world and have them accept that you're a witch? Well, as to that, it's because making all humans accept the existence of witches is a prerequisite of perfect control. There was a single holdout who simply wouldn't accept me as a witch. Why do you need the approval of a human? Witches are witches and can use magic. So why should we need to be acknowledged by humans? Like I said earlier, magic is... I am a witch. I can use magic without anyone's approval in particular. So what's your point? In this world, right? However, since that person won't accept it, how should I explain it? I don't need you to. After all, isn't all this about a different world that never crosses this one? In other words, that world might as well not exist. You fighting a game in another world is absolutely no different from you telling me about stuff from your imagination. I'll say it again. It has nothing to do with me. And I am already a witch. Predecessor Sama, somehow or another, it seems that you can't become a witch as long as this person doesn't acknowledge you. But I'm different. Even though no one has acknowledged me, I'm an excellent witch already. Since you are my predecessor, I will formally pay you respect. But that's out of kindness, not out of duty. I won't ask for your advice anymore, because I clearly know what I should do, and how I should play from now on. So, I will carry out the murder of 13 people as a final act of respect for you. However, there is absolutely no reason for you to interfere with the methods I use, or what I do afterwards. Therefore, I'll be counting on you in that regard.
You know, she actually makes a good point when you think about it, because this does totally like fly in the face of what has previously been established, and especially with like, you know, how she feels towards Battler Beato, I mean, and like the lengths that she's going to try and get him to like not be as pissed about what Avatris is doing. I guess now that we've been shown that like you can be a witch without, you know, necessarily needing like everybody present to like have that belief, right? But she just said like Beato is different for some reason. So I guess that she wants Battler to accept her for some personal reason that we're not aware of. So I think they are I think that's my game theory. I think Beato and Battler are personally connected somehow. Because that has to be the only reason why she cares so much about convincing him at this point, right? Because like, fucking Avatrice makes a good point about how she doesn't really need to care anymore if she doesn't want to. Like she's not even like the real Beatrice anymore. But she still wants Battler to accept her, but she won't say why, like specifically.
Meow. Meow.
I'm wondering if because of that and because of Battler's disbelief in him being in the other world right now, I wonder if as soon as this is all over and Ava Beatrice tries to cross over into the other world, she's just gonna get fucked up by all the other witches.
Oh,
They're
man.
like, that's not how you do shit.
I just jump her.
Just getting curb stomped by fucking Lambda Delta.
Fire.
Yeah, right.
At a glance, those words seemed obedient, but they contained with them a clear parting of ways. She was no longer under Beata's care in any way. That's why she was clearly saying nothing more than, don't get in the way of my fun. Beato understood that, and was dejected, realizing that no matter how she explained it, she wouldn't be able to make the witch understand.
I see. Then it is no longer my problem. Go and learn with your own body how magic ceases to exist when you lose your respect for it. I wish you'd tell me where the respect was in that carefree rampage of yours up until now.
Kinda owned.
After hearing that, Beato could not respond. Because she remembered hearing exactly the same thing from her teacher.
Okay now. Yes, her sisters. See off my predecessor on her way back.
Predecessor Doc, please leave this place now.
Doc! If you don't, we'll be scolded!
Throughout her body, Beato felt something unseeable from the Shyster sisters, which could only be described as an oppressive sensation. Most likely, they were initiating firing calculations. It was an action much like taking out a gun and cocking it. Oh, and I'm waiting for my friend Zacho to find those photos, but apparently some of the Joshi wrestlers did a night where they all did UMINEKO
Oh
gear.
shit.
Really? Oh, that's so
Yeah.
funny. I love it.
So I'm waiting for
I need to
my
see
friend
that
Zacho
expeditiously.
to find if it was on Stardom or which company did it, but apparently they did.
I need to see it expeditiously. That's
Waiting
so
for
awesome.
Zacho. Even Beato could not escape from the Chiaista sisters' attacks without any preparation. In the past, she had placed her greatest trust in them, so she knew how terrifying they were down to her very soul. Predecessor Sama, if you would retire, I would not recommend damaging Beatrice Sama's mood any further.
Predecessor Sama.
I understand. I shall leave for now. I'll watch over the end. I'll watch over the end you eventually reach at my leisure.
Goodbye.
It was almost infinitely close to a parting shot. So, after Beato vanished, the witch and her furniture doubled over laughing.
Well, I do understand. The endless power is fun. The joy of freely toying with an extremely limited life cannot be explained to those who have not tasted it. I can understand that feeling of being possessed with a pleasure similar to drugs.
It must have been quite fun, judging by your antics in the past.
Are you saying it's just like when you tried to admonish me in the past, over and over, and I did not listen?
Why have you started trying to scold that child for her actions?
Well,
There's a single large difference between you and that child. That child may already be a witch. Of course, you are also a witch. At least, in the world on top of the game board. However, to be acknowledged as a witch in the world outside the game board, you need to have Battler-kun, your opponent in this game, acknowledge you. You must have understood that when you started the game.
I thought that if I could show off a whirlwind of proof that I am a witch, blow away his desire to deny me, and make him surrender, he would acknowledge me as a witch. It all went my way last time, so I thought I was just a breath away.
It's actually the opposite. Battler-kun was disgusted by your brutality. He did not step up to the plate as a player because he acknowledged you as a worthy opponent. It was based on a strong animosity, his resolve to completely deny the existence of a brutal witch. In your foolishness, you probably felt that Battler-kun's acceptance of his role as your opponent was a first step, or towards making him acknowledge you as a witch. However, it was actually the opposite. Battler-kun challenged you in this game because he was absolutely determined not to acknowledge you. No matter how hard the thoughtless north wind blows, the traveler only wears his cloak even tighter. You were committing a huge error from the beginning. This game is not torture to make Battler-kun surrender. It is a test in which you must try to make Battler-kun accept you.
I've vaguely noticed that.
The last game was a tough one for Battler. But, as it seems you've already noticed, this game was a tough one for you.
What should I do from now on?
Think about it for yourself. Fortunately, you have already given up your pieces on the game board for the new witch. You should have plenty of time to reflect upon your own self.
But Battler's already a massive hostility to me. He won't accept witches, so he won't accept me. In that case, what can I do to make him accept me? Are you saying that if the north wind doesn't work, then I should shine on him as the sun from now on? Me? After all this time?
It's October now, the Halloween season. It's the month of rebirth, when the sun dies and is revived again. When the sun is weak right after reviving, it may not reach far through the cold winter winds. However, it slowly grows, and is eventually able to hail the coming of spring. At that time, the traveler may even fold up his cloak.
Are you saying that I've been mistaken?
Oh, frick.
Oh!
The beautiful hall of the Shiromiya mansion was covered with a golden sparkle like gold leaf, and stained deep red with thick spurts of blood. The number of deaths given to Rudolph and Kyrie had long surpassed anything you could count on both your fingers and your toes. The witch was breathing so hard her shoulders shook, but it wasn't because she was tired. She couldn't hide her ragged breath caused by her still, uncontainable excitement.
How fun it is to do as I will with people's lives and deaths! With the power of the Endless Witch, the endless everything I paint with my mind becomes reality! No matter how sloppily I mash them, I can revive them, returning them to normal with just a snap of my fingers. Because in the end, I just have to restore the corpses and follow the epitaph as an afterthought.
I'm letting the game laugh for me.
Hey, you guys! Have you ever sliced a stuffed animal's stomach open?
Never, Doc. What about you? 54, number? What? 45, 4. Pink one?
No! I have never done it! My apologies! That's understandable. Normally you wouldn't. Especially not if it was a stuffed animal you liked. But I've always thought about it. I always thought about peeking in and seeing what was packed inside this fluffy stuffed animal I loved.
If you cut it and looked inside, your curiosity might be quelled, but the stuffed animal would be broken. So even though you want to see it, you can't.
Oh. You understand that feeling, right?
Yeah.
The power of the endless switch can truly grant that wish. As I am now, I can slice the stuffed animal all I want. And yet, with a bit of magic, I can return it to normal and revive it. In other words, it means I've broken all limitations in this world. As I am now, I don't have to hesitate or give up an idea or anything. That joy. There's probably no one who can understand it. No one other than me, the Golden Witch!
As the witch let out a mad war cry, she revived Rudolph and Kyrie again, and faster than they could realize it, she killed them right away. And she made it known that something other than cotton was stuffed inside those two.
Oh my god.
Quit it, Ava.
Oh my god. Her husband.
Huh?
Shit.
Ah, it's you. How long have you been there?
Shit. In that gruesome hall, Hideyoshi appeared with his gun readied. The witch had sealed the mansion with a barrier, so Hideyoshi had nowhere to run. He'd probably picked up Rudolph or Kyrie's gun and come back. The gun, which should have been something to be feared, was apparently no longer an object took seriously now that she was overflowing with magical power. The bold expression didn't flinch in the slightest.
Why did you have to kill Rosa-san and Maria-chan? And Rudolph-kun and Kyrie-san?
Huh? I'm the head of the Ushinomiya family, the Witch of Rokenjima. Everything that occurs on this island is all up to me. Whether they happen to be alive or dead at any particular moment in time is meaningless to me.
You went mad after finding Father's gold. Just how high must that gold have been piled? I can't even imagine it. It must have been enough to steal away your sanity. But if there was that much gold, why didn't you think of graciously splitting it up?
You misunderstand. All of that belongs to the Golden Witch. No one is qualified to touch it except me.
What are you? Don't tell me you're that thing Ava told me about long ago. The witch Ava from when she was young.
That's right. I am the me from my years as a girl, who's been living in the heart of your wife, Ushinomiya Ava, this whole time. And I'm a witch. Ava became an adult by forgetting me, so she can't use magic.
All kids get their heads filled with innocent but cruel ideas sometimes. When I was young, I'd sometimes go around stepping on ants and pulling the wings off dragonflies. However, I learned the importance of life and graduated from that cruel childhood age. Right now, you really are a child, a personality that I know Ava graduated from. That personality isn't Ava. It's a completely different human.
That's right. I am not Ushinomiya Ava. I am the Golden Witch Beatrice. It's so fun, not being bounded by any limitations, and the pleasure of being able to do as I will with life and death is truly wonderful. I don't have to apologize for breaking a goldfish bowl, and I can tear stuffed animals up as much as I want.
Oh.
No way
sound.
he pimp slapped the fuck out of her. Oh my god, based.
It was the sound of Hideyoshi slapping.
Dude, this guy's the best
face.
character in the whole game.
He
I
really
love Hideyoshi. Looking at the hole stained deep red with fresh blood, he should have been able to imagine how terrible the witch was. But without fear, without even hesitating, Hideyoshi walked determinedly up to her and hit her on the cheek.
You fool! Don't act like you're cruel. Not when you're really a coward and a weakling.
Damn.
I'll correct that evil nature of yours again if I have to.
Oh no. Oh dear.
You fool! Fool!
Ow! Ouch! Hey!
Oh, child beating, but it's based this time.
You're a woman who understands how important, how fragile a life is, ain't you? I'll make you remember. What are you calling a witch, you stupid fool? You're my wife, Ushiro Miya Ava. If anything, you're a witch of the kitchen who can always make the perfect snacks out of refrigerator leftovers in a
Oh
flash.
my god.
Won't you open your eyes, you fool?
That's so fucking sweet.
Didn't I just tell you? Did I not Ushinomiya Ava?
You stupid fool. You!
Oh.
As tears dripped down his face, Hideyoshi kept hitting the witch's head. He wasn't even pointing the gun at her anymore. Therefore, that sound of gunfire couldn't have come from the gun Hideyoshi was holding.
Oh.
The gun, which had fallen in the corner near Rudolph's corpse, was floating in the air, and smoke lingered near the barrel. And the bullet? A red stain was slowly spreading across the chest section of Hideyoshi's vest. Even though his back was facing the barrel of the gun, the bullet had driven through Hideyoshi's chest.
Ava.
Like I said, I'm not Ava. What a stupid, annoying man. You're a pain, so I'll switch the sacrifice of the sixth twilight to you. If only you just hidden under some bed shaking or something. I planned on letting you go. But no, you went to all the trouble of coming back. You really are a stupid man.
There was a dull sound as Hideyoshi fell to the floor. Even though death would have allowed him to escape from that pain, he resisted until the last second, and staring straight into the witch's eyes, he passed away. Because he had died without closing his eyes, the witch didn't realize that he was dead for a short while, and remained pinned by that gaze.
Should we make this one a new toy and play, Doc?
At those words, the witch finally realized that Hideyoshi was dead.
Yeah, right. What'll we do?
The Shiaista sisters waited for instructions. On the inside, they imagined the sorts of even more brutal orders their master might give. But the expression that rose to the witch's face looked as though she'd gotten over her excitement. She looked down at Hideyoshi's face, which still had tears dripping down it.
It's such a killjoy, and it's all this guy's fault. I'm done. Renove, are you there?
Yes, right here.
Take care of the cleanup. I'll bet the predecessor Sama makes a fuss over this one. Please make it clean enough for that old hag to accept. I guess I'll follow the rules of the ceremony, out of a sense of obligation to my predecessor Sama. Treat these 3 corpses as the 4th through 6th twilights. Lucifer, it's your turn.
Lucifer of Pride right here.
Dig into these 3 corpses and gouge them.
Into corpses?
That's right. Got a problem with that?
No.
The 7 Sisters of Purgatory had their own sort of pride. It was the pride of a hunter, the pride of gouging prey they had brought down themselves. However, being told to gouge a corpse that someone else had brought down ran contrary to that sentiment. Of course, the witch didn't mean it that way, but for the 7 Sisters, it was horribly humiliating. However, they had already screwed this up with the 2 sisters defeated, so they had no right to question her. Only Renove appreciated this, and he rested his hand on her shoulder in understanding. This is an order from Beatrice-sama. Lucifer, carry these 3 and dispose of them in accordance with the etiquette of the ceremony. Then, when you are done, lend me a hand with the cleanup.
Certainly.
The witch looked down upon Hideyoshi's corpse as though implying that the now delicate atmosphere was all Hideyoshi's fault.
Stupid man. And you didn't even have to die.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Dear. Ah! Dear, where are you? You're there, right? Answer me.
The crash of a thunderbolt woke Ava from a nightmare. If Hideyoshi had been gripping her hand at that time, the fearful heart would have probably been instantly healed. However, Hideyoshi, who had supposedly sworn that he wouldn't leave for a moment, was nowhere to be seen in the room.
Dear, answer me. Dear. Uh-oh. Oh.
Wow.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
It's wow, 30 minutes. All that shit happened in 40 minutes.
Damn.
Damn.
Okay, guys, I gotta be done. I can't
Gotta be
anymore.
done.
I've been awake for too long.
Time
much
to
wait-
eat.
Too much wakies.
Oh, and Brie, I found it. Apparently, it is the spring tour of 2022 in Ryogoku Hall, but it's behind a paywall.
No.
Yeah.
Damn, those
Damn.
greedy bitches. Those greedy bitches.
Yeah.
All
kinda-
right.
There aren't pictures. I was
Poopy.
looking for pictures, but nah.
Poopy. Well, everybody, I hope you had a good stream night. No UMINEKO stream next week because I'm going to be in home. Possibly UMINEKO stream this next week, but we'll see. Maybe? Question mark.
I'm probably gonna be streaming though. Hopefully.
Yeah. Watch Shane
Oh
stream.
yeah.
Watch Shane stream.
Real
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. I don't
Real
know what I'm
shit.
gonna do though, but we'll see.
Yeah, watch Shane stream. I love Shane. Okay,
Yeah.
everybody, have a good night. Okay, see you later.
Night night.